will learn about the story behind WhatsApp and how WhatsApp has changed the way we connect. Let's start. WhatsApp has become the most popular messaging app in the world. They have more than 2 billion monthly active users, meaning that 25% of the population use this one app. But have you ever wondered, since this app is complete free to use and there is no ads on this app, so how does this company WhatsApp earn money? Friends, come, let's understand the business model of WhatsApp. WhatsApp was founded in the year 2009 by two people, Brian Acton and Jan Koum. Before this, the two had worked together at Yahoo for 9 years, and when they left Yahoo, they were applying for jobs at various companies. They applied to Facebook but were rejected. They applied to Twitter but were rejected from there as well. In fact, in 2009, Brian Acton had famously tweeted in it. He had applied for a job at Twitter, but he wasn't too disappointed because the commute would have been too long. He tweeted something similar after being rejected from Facebook. Ironically, just 5 years after this, Facebook purchased WhatsApp for $19 billion. But before this, it is interesting to know where did they get the idea of creating WhatsApp. Jan Koum used frequent gyms, and there he realized that he wouldn't be able to receive the calls of his friends. He kept on missing calls. That made him think that there should be an app that would status that he was in the gym at the moment, so that his friends could see the status and then understand that since he is in the gym, they should not call him then. On this basis idea, he created the app WhatsApp. It is interesting to note that this app didn't have messaging. You could not send message to anyone like you can do so now on WhatsApp. The word WhatsApp came from the word what's up. Like you ask people, what's up? How are you doing? On this app, you could simply let others know what you were up to, meaning that you could simply post your status on this app. You could write that you are in the gym, and the app would notify the rest of your friends that you are in the gym. When you changed status, this app notified your friends and contacts. This app was created for doing merely this initially. But eventually, he realized that some of the users of this app were using the status as messages. When one would change the status to doing something, their friends might update their status with whatever they were doing. So, the first person would update their status yet again in response. Similarly, people started using these as messages. Then they thought that it would be better to make the app a messaging service, and this idea was a huge success because back in 2009, there was only one other app on which one could message others for free. That was the BlackBerry's BlackBerry Messenger. The problem with it was that you had to have a BlackBerry phone. So, only the user of BlackBerry phones could use BBM, and WhatsApp filled in a gap here. The users of other phones felt the need for a free messaging app, and WhatsApp became that app within days. It was downloaded over 2 lakhs times. WhatsApp started receiving funding from investors. WhatsApp's popularity skyrocketed on its own without any marketing or ads because users liked it so much that they told their friends about it. Those friends told their friends, and WhatsApp saw organic growth. As you would remember, around 2009, these telephone companies used to charge a lot of money for sending each SMS. Calling rates were based on minutes per call. They were quite expensive, and here was a clear-cut free option. So, people started using WhatsApp. Within the next 2 years, this app became one of the top 10 apps in the app stores. This was true for almost every country except for America. In America, in 2009, most of the telephone companies had flat rates for SMSs and free calling minutes. So, this was a great incentive for the Americans to use WhatsApp. They continued with using SMSs, and even today, the USA is one of the worst performing markets for WhatsApp. Can you imagine it? WhatsApp saw its growth due to European, Asian, and African countries. Talking about money, initially there were not many expenses to run WhatsApp. They had a small team, they had built a simple app. They were not spending money on marketing or running ads, so biggest expenses of running WhatsApp was actually the cost of sending SMSs. The verification text that WhatsApp sends when a user joins it. So, the one SMS per user had to send for verification was the biggest expense at the time. Where could they get money for this? They had received some investments with their success. More companies wanted to invest in them. They would give them money to exchange for their shares. But investment was not exactly pouring in, so they came up with a new business model. WhatsApp started charging its users to $0.99, about $1 per year. They started charging their users to use this app. You heard it right. WhatsApp wasn't a free app anymore. But despite that, the user experience of the app was so good and the app worked so smoothly. On top of it, new features were being added, like you could now send photos over WhatsApp. Their growth continued. By 2011, their app had become the top app in the app stores. Acton was clear about one thing. He had stuck a note on his table: no ads, no games, no gimmicks. He did not want to run any ads on WhatsApp, nor did he want to add any features that had no greater purpose. He wanted to keep the app simple and to the point, the app built for messaging. He wanted the app to be so good at that one thing that no other app could compete with it, and people keep on using it. Their $1 business model was very successful. Within the next 3 years, WhatsApp became a profitable company. All the money they earned was spending on their small team so that new features could be added to WhatsApp. The problem in the software could be rectified and a reliable messaging app could be created. They claimed that their products was their passion and that the users' data wasn't something that interested them. That they had no interest in taking users' data, but after this, Facebook makes an entry in our story and this model started crumbling apart from here. Mark Zuckerberg was trying to buy WhatsApp since 2012. But this deal was finalized in February 2014 and WhatsApp is taken over for $19 billion by Facebook, and the employees working in WhatsApp now become Facebook employees. WhatsApp founders had a meeting with Google CEO Sundar Pichai but no deal was finalized with Google. Facebook was so desperate to buy WhatsApp because WhatsApp was the biggest competition of Facebook messengers, and by 2014, several other messaging applications had popped up in competition. Likewise, WeChat, Kik, Line, and Viber. Facebook wanted to buy WhatsApp so that there would be no significant competition after they own both Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Apart from this, WhatsApp had access to the user data of so many people, and Facebook realized that they could use this user data to earn more money because Facebook runs its own company by selling data. After this deal, Acton and Combe, the founders of WhatsApp, became billionaires overnight. If you are wondering about their reason to sell WhatsApp, Facebook and Mike Zuckerberg had told them that they would allow them to run WhatsApp independently even after the acquisition, that there would be no interference in their work. Thus, they agreed to sell it. It sounds like a good deal. They get the money and did not even have to compromise on their values. But there is no happy ending in this story because there were constant conflicts between Facebook and WhatsApp over the next years. The team of WhatsApp and its founders and the way Facebook was pressuring them. In January 2016, we get to know that WhatsApp had removed its $1 fees and WhatsApp became a completely free application again. The reason behind it is said to be that there are many countries like India where people don't have credit cards, so they were not able to pay $1 fees, and many people were actually unable to afford it. In this case, making this a free app helps to developing a larger user base. So they decided that since they wanted to expand and have more users for their app, they would have to make the app free to use. The question then arose, what should be the business model? How should they earn money? During the time, it was being said that WhatsApp would try to get into partnership with businesses and try to find a source of revenue from there. At the same time, Mark Zuckerberg was being pressured by his investors because $19 billion had been paid to WhatsApp, and so they needed to make some money out of it somehow. In turn, Mark pressurized the founders of WhatsApp. Fed up this, the founders of WhatsApp gave up finally in March 2017. They couldn't take it anymore. Brian Acton resigned from his job in September 2017, and a few months later, Jan Combe left WhatsApp too, saying that Facebook's opinion on data privacy and the business model that Facebook wants to force on WhatsApp are not what he agreed to, and that he could not tolerate those in any manner, and so he was leaving WhatsApp. Friends, you can say that after 2018, Mark Zuckerberg established his control over WhatsApp. Brian Acton went to establish a non-profit Signal Foundation. With this, we got new messaging application Signal. As you know, many people compare Signal with WhatsApp and believe that Signal is a superior app in many aspects. It protects your data privacy. It's a free application like WhatsApp, and most importantly, it is non-profit application. This time around, Brian decided that he did not want to get entangled in business models because whenever they run after profits, they have to compromise on the principles of the company in some way or the other. That's why Signal would remain a non-profit app. They would not worry about making money. They would ensure data privacy of the users and would provide the users with a true free messaging app. Thankfully, we could get an app like this. So, what happened to WhatsApp then? What was the business model that Mark Zuckerberg cooked up? In 2018, Facebook launched the WhatsApp Business app. On this app, businesses could create their business profiles, and the verified businesses can link their websites and Facebook pages with this business profile. Facebook established a link between Facebook pages and WhatsApp. WhatsApp Business application is completely free to use, but the Business API is the source of the revenue of WhatsApp. API is Application Programming Interface, basically a medium through which multiple applications can communicate with each other or perform a function or a task. Facebook is looking for more money ways it can earn money from WhatsApp. That's why they have integrated the option for making payments. It was started for India users to make P2P payments. They are launching a service known as WhatsApp Pay. Although for normal users it would be free to use WhatsApp Pay, but for businesses they would have to pay flat fee of 3.99% on every transaction. In November 2020, WhatsApp Pay was launched in India. It was expected that this feature would become very popular, but thankfully in our country UPI already exists. It does not charge this huge commission from businesses. This is the reason why WhatsApp Pay could reach only 0.02% of the volume of UPI. Apart from this, Facebook is considering running ads on WhatsApp so that they can earn even more money. It is being planned that the statuses in WhatsApp would eventually host ads. I hope you have enjoyed exploring all about WhatsApp. I am Nihaan. Thank you for watching Nihaan's World. I'll see you in the next videos. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Goodbye till next time.